What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. My goal for today is to show you guys what the market participants are doing and where they're most likely going to take the price to next. Before I begin, why do I always say traders in my intros? Because I believe everyone is a trader. Even if you're an investor, you're technically still a trader because eventually you are going to sell or you're going to trade it for something, fiat currency, you'll take a loan against it, whatever, but you're still trading at the end of the day. If you sold something on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, that's a trade. You bought something and either gained or lost value and you sold it for a loss or a profit. So that was a trade. You trade your time for money at your job or even your business. You're working this many hours and you're getting this paid. You're trading this service you have for this cash. So everyone is trading. So that's why we say traders, even in the market. When you enter the marketplace, when you buy MicroStrategy or strategy, no one cares if you're a trader for intraday trader, swing trader, long-term trader. It doesn't matter. You're still buying the company. For example, if you buy real estate and it's your primary residence, well, there's still a lot of people in the real estate market that are investors. They don't really care about, living in the house. They just want to flip it. So you have all these people pooling in together with different strategies and different priorities. So same thing with the marketplace in terms of stocks too. When you buy, you're thinking, okay, well, why is everyone selling when I'm a long-term holder? Is because people don't care and they're doing what they want to do. So you have a lot of intraday traders, you have some swing traders, you have some long-term traders, and then you have, those long-term, very long-term investors. So again, there's so many different people coming into the marketplace doing their own thing, and that's what you get in terms of the price movement. So let's go over the chart. Well, it looks like MicroStrategy is holding up very well today, relative to Bitcoin, which is down about, I think it was like 5 or 6%, trading right around the $84,000 level. So it should be bottoming out very soon. I hate to say when exactly, but it's in my gut feeling that it's very soon. It's not going to be a long time. In terms of time frame, it's very soon. And in terms of price action, is very soon as well. So it's hard to say when, give or take a couple of days, maybe a week max. I just hate to say exactly when, but I don't think this is going to continue much longer. MicroStrategy holding up very well, as you can see here, only down a small percentage. And let's see how it ends at the end of the trading session. Still a couple hours left, but hopefully it holds up very nicely. You can see on the regular chart, this is the regular scaling, which is important to make note of, that we reached the measurement target. So this is all one large drop right here. As you can see here, one large drop. This was the second large drop right here, the start of it, and we reached the target, or we are very close to it. So this is probably right around the lower 240s, and we reached the mid 240s. So even if we do drop down slightly to the 240 level, 239 level, it's not a big deal because that's right where this measurement target is at. You don't want it going way below it, but if we overshoot it or undershoot it, that's totally fine, or meet it, which we basically just did. So overall, this is a good sign that we're kind of stabilizing right here with Bitcoin dropping off as well. You kind of want MicroStrategy to be leading, not necessarily leading Bitcoin, like Bitcoin will follow it, but more in terms of giving an indicator of reversal signs. For example, this peak right here, this blow off top right over here, signified that Bitcoin is also going to top out soon as well, which did occur several weeks later. Bitcoin topped out as well because this was an extreme overshoot. And same thing right here. This breakout right here happened on Friday, a couple days before Bitcoin started breaking out. So this was indicating that we were going to see a weakness and Bitcoin dropping in terms of price. So this is kind of bottoming out and possibly even reversing higher. So that could be indicating that the Bitcoin bottom is near. So that's what you want MicroStrategy. That's what you want strategy to be doing. You want it to be leading like an indicator for when Bitcoin is reversing. Why? Because this is going to be more sensitive to price fluctuations in the marketplace. This is going to be the thing that people generally buy or sell depending on their emotions. So if they're really scared, they're going to be selling MicroStrategy first, and then they'll probably sell Bitcoin. If they're really optimistic, they're going to be buying MicroStrategy first and then buy Bitcoin. So you know how it works out to the extreme. So this will lead on the extremes to the top side and probably towards the bottom side as well. So I think you can also use that as a possible indicator of a bottoming coming soon. So we have a measurement target met. We have a breakout, which a lot of times breakouts fail, and especially when it's counter trend to the macro uptrend. This is a counter trend breakout, meaning it's down versus the long-term uptrend, which is up. So I don't think this is going to continue that much lower. If it does, so what? I misread the chart. The market participants are more aggressive than I thought towards the downside. It is what it is. But overall, I don't see that right as of right now. Once price breaks this downward trend line, as you can see here, this downward trend line is confirmed. You have this pivot, the first swing, the second swing, and the third one that confirmed it. So once we see a break of this, it's basically game over for the shorts, and we're just going to most likely continue to rally higher. It's not guaranteed. Sometimes we go up and then we get rejected, and maybe we do something like that. That's highly unlikely. It doesn't seem like that type of stock. This seems like a stock that we can really run up quickly. I think we can quickly get up to the 440s, 300s, the 400s, 500s, probably within a month. So I wouldn't be surprised to see March to be a very bullish month for MicroStrategy. We can get up there very quickly. So overall, still holding up very well with Bitcoin selling off quite a bit. But again, Bitcoin looks to be finally coming to a bottom very soon. Let's go over the log scale on the weekly chart because you can see more of that past price action. And as you can see here, a nice, beautiful pullback. This was expected because I've been calling out that we're going to get see price below the EMA like we have seen several times before. So here's the weekly chart right now on the log scale. And again, every pullback in this entire uptrend back over here in late 2022 went below the EMA. So we have a drop down there, even a slight drop down there, slight drop down there, slight drop down there, slight drop down there, slight drop down here, or this one's even a bigger one, and now we did it again. So it's not out of the ordinary to see that. It's still okay. And let's see if we're in a possible uptrend. You connect the swings, 1, 2, 3, drag it up. Looks like we're in a nice uptrend, and we're right at the support side of the uptrend with reaching a measurable target, with the potential failed breakout, with Bitcoin bottoming out. I mean, this is all bullish signs, right? Yes, price is dropping, and you can even see the gap was filled on the weekly chart. There was a huge gap right here, and now that was filled as well. So this one right here, between these two green candlesticks, there was an empty space between them. A lot of times these gaps like to be filled, and that was a good target. So overall, this is a lot of bullish signs on the chart. What's to be bearish about? I mean, yeah, we're dropping, but it's just a correction. You got to be able to differentiate between a huge sell-off and just a correction. The correction is going to be either sideways, like we saw last time, or it's going to be downward, like we're seeing this time. So again, still expecting higher prices. I'm looking for a bunch of higher price targets, 4,000 to be the latest one, which is about $1 trillion market cap. Again, you might not get there, but if it's probably not this cycle, it's most likely going to be next cycle. So overall, still very bullish long term. And again, I'm not pulling a random number out of the hat. I'm not saying 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, or even 3,500. It has to be a technical target based on things that are highly with a high probability of occurring. So a measure move target is a high probability of occurring. And especially when price is obviously trending in that direction, there are higher probability targets. So it's not like a random number I'm using. So $4,000, that's where I get it from. I'm using the measure move target. But again, that could be a very long-term one, but it could also happen this cycle as well. So don't be don't think it won't happen. Is it not a zero probability of occurring? I still think it's a pretty decent probability. Another thing I want to cover is that do we see an early top like this cycle right here where price topped out in February 2021 while Bitcoin continued to run up in 2021 and then top out? And or is something similar occurring right now where we saw the top and Bitcoin went up a little bit more and then we see a sell off together? I don't think so. I'll give you two main reasons why. The first reason is that this company owns a gigantic amount of more Bitcoin than they did back over here. This basically was kind of off the radar for most people. Honestly, I didn't even know about it. I started hearing about MicroStrategy right around, I think it was like 2023, late 2023, like right around here. I think I might have heard about it, but I wasn't really interested in it. I was interested in it right about over here. All this right over here, I was pretty interested in it. It wasn't on my radar back over here in 2021. And then so like I was saying, they hold a lot more Bitcoin now than they did back then. So it's going to be trading more closely relative to the Bitcoin cycle now. It's not a small little holding that they had on the side. It has almost 3% of the total supply of a finite supply, greatest asset humans have ever conceived of, Bitcoin. So again, it's the hardest money in the world. It will become the hardest money in the world. It's already very close to being the hardest, if not already. Gold is right up there as well, but it's going to surpass gold when the mining difficulty increases in 2028. When the block reward gets halved, it will become a much more harder money, and it will continue to get harder and harder over time. Again, you don't want money controlled by people. You don't want money controlled by a centralized party. You don't want money controlled by a single person. You don't want money controlled by a company. You want money to be a program, or in this case, a protocol, and you can either choose to follow it or not. So you have the choice to, use Bitcoin, and a lot of people choose it because it is fair, it's honest, it's the honest ledger. So that's why people choose Bitcoin, and that's why companies will start to build their base off of Bitcoin. You don't. Why would you build it on something that can be manipulated, heavily manipulated, like fiat currency, and continue to debase over time? If you want to build a company, you want to build on a solid foundation. So when a company builds on a solid foundation like Bitcoin, they can get increased returns than Bitcoin itself. It's like venture capital returns on a very safe asset. So that's what MicroStrategy is doing. They're building on a very strong base, and they have the strongest bases in the entire marketplace. So that really tells you how concrete this company is over the long term. Let's just say there's a recession. A lot of companies will feel it, but who's going to feel it less? The company with more Bitcoin or less Bitcoin? The more with liquid cash, or in this case, liquid asset that they can sell on a Sunday night to anybody in the world, or a company who has a bunch of cash and basically they're losing customers, right? No one can afford the product. So again, this is a very, very strong company, and especially if they're not over leveraged as well and all those other things. But overall, still looks pretty good. I don't think this is an early top because, again, like I was saying before, they hold so much more Bitcoin than they did before. So it's going to be more closely tied to Bitcoin cycle. That's what I believe. And as it gets even more and more Bitcoin, it's going to be closer and closer tied. So we could see an early top. So this could be definitely occur earlier than Bitcoin. I'm not saying it won't. But I am saying that it's pretty closer tied to Bitcoin cycle. Another thing is that look at this uptrend right here. This uptrend is clearly different than this uptrend right here. This one is more structured with waves, while this one was a very quick kind of blow off top. So this is going to be lasting a lot longer than this type of uptrend right here. So those are the two main reasons. The uptrend is way different than before, and this company holds way more Bitcoin than it did before. So those are the two reasons why. But overall, let's see what happens. As long as it doesn't go too far down, this is still okay. Technically, it's still in the realm of a pullback. This is a good zone. A lot of people think, when price goes down, that's bearish. And again, you can use that as an indicator. When everyone starts freaking out, what does that tell you? Do you want to be part of the crowd, or the crowd who doesn't understand the marketplace, or people who are buying over here, right? They're setting up to get into a trade when price is down. They're waiting for an opportunity. They're waiting for price to come down to a key level, and now we're finally near the key level, and that's when they can act on it. So that's all I have for MicroStrategy and the daily weekly charts. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.